family, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So today's topic, I'm going to be talking about how to write an impressive resume, and this is the latest format, the latest update about Canadian resume in 2023/2024, because trust me, there have been a lot of updates as regards writing your CV, submitting your resume and all that. And I've told you earlier, for those that have been following my videos and they have been watching some of my previous videos, that Canada mostly accepts resume format and not a CV format. So if you're planning to get a job in Canada, you might want to consider having a good resume to submit for job applications, right? And before I dive into today's topic, I'd like to share a short story about a client of mine from France who got a job in Canada even before he relocated to Canada. Okay, so the backstory of this is that this particular clients reached out to me that he wants to relocate to Canada, but he wants to get a job before he relocates to Canada. Okay, and he said, how possible is this? I said, okay, this is possible, but you need to work on your LinkedIn, you need to work on your CV, and you need to get a cover letter, just in case. Just have all these things ready. And then I worked on his LinkedIn, I worked on his CV, and I worked on his cover letter. And just 2 days, or was it a day after I was done with everything, he saw this job that is related to his field, because I helped him to tailor his CV towards the kind of skill that he had and the kind of job opportunity he was looking for. So we made the resume all about that particular skill, and I did audio formatting. I work on his LinkedIn. If you go to his LinkedIn profile, you're going to there is no way you can just overlook that kind of beautiful profile, right? So I worked on it, and a day or 2 days after, I really can't remember right now, he applied for a job and he got an offer, and they asked him to pick a comfortable date that it will be available for interviews. And this is just a screenshot of some of our conversation, right? So this is just to tell people how that sometimes when you are asked to work on your resume, work on your LinkedIn, work on your cover letter, it's because of what is actually trending and what is acceptable these days. So you need to put all these things in order so that it won't be as if you are submitting your CVs for different applications and yet you are getting no answer. You keep getting rejections. Sometimes you don't even get any response. Sometimes you just be like, we are sorry, after carefully looking at all those sweet English words, and at the end of the day, it's still no for an answer. Why don't you just try, work on your LinkedIn, work on your CV, and prepare a good cover letter? And trust me, you will definitely get a yes as soon as possible, because today I'm going to be sharing with you how you can write an impressive Canadian resume. And this is 2023-2024 format. And if you are here, you are listening to me, you're watching me for the first time, or you've been watching me for long, and you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You are part of my family, and I would love to have you as a member of my family, right? So subscribe, like, and make sure that you also share this video with your loved ones, your colleagues, and people that you feel that this information is really going to help, right? So let's dive into the topic for today. So how do you write an impressive Canadian resume 2023-2024, right? The first thing you need to take note of is the contact information, right? Never start your resume or your CV with the topic. Some people write curriculum vitae as topic. I mean, that is your CV already. You need not to put it there that this is curriculum vitae. This is wrong. You don't need to put it as the top, as the heading that this is a resume. We all know that this is a resume. So you start your resume with your contact information. And what do I mean by contact information? You must follow this format. As I'm showing you on the screen, you show your name, you provide your full name, your phone number, your email address, your location, and your LinkedIn URL if you have one, which I will encourage you to, right? So this is what you should put in your contact information. You will need it, because if employers or the company you apply to, they want to reach out to you, they will either reach out to you through your mail, or they They might want to try your number just to call you, have conversation with you. They might want to know your address to, it may be depending on if they have another job or another branch in the location that is closer to where you are, or just to, you know, just to look for something that is going to favor you. That is why they need your location sometimes. So make sure that you include all this in your contact information. So this is very, very important. You need to take note of the contact information aspect. And then this takes me to point number 2. 2 is the resume objective or professional summary. And for those that have been following a particular part of career, you use career objective or your career summary, and that is the next thing that should comes after your, you know, your contact information. And in your career summary, your professional summary, or your resume objective, you should emphasize on, you know, the kind of skills or experience that you have and what you're planning to bring to the company, the values that you're planning to bring to the company. You know, you just have to write it in 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences. It shouldn't be long. You don't have to say a lot of story. Just, you know, this should include, you know, you just introducing your area of expertise or professionalism, and then you telling them what you are bringing to the table, and, you know, ending it with the values that, you know, they should expect from you. That is what should, you know, your resume objective, your professional summary should entail. Just like I'm showing you on the screen, there are different examples, and make sure that you are not using generic statements that people just see online. You have to make sure that it's something that you really own, it's something that you really have, it's something that you really can offer. So you need not to lie, you need not to, you know, over promise. Just do your thing and just be, you know, just be honest in your you know, resume objective, but make sure that you input keywords are very, very important. So you need to put that also in your resume objective and your professional summary. Job seekers actually get it wrong, especially in this aspect, because this is where you actually, you know, get the attention of your employers, your recruiters or hiring managers. Because if you fail to catch their attention in the resume objective or your professional summary or career summary, trust me, they may not even want to go ahead and check the rest of your resume. So that is why I employ people to make sure that they, you know, they try their possible best to sell themselves, especially in this area, in this particular area. It's very, very important. It's key. It is one of the strategies that I use for most of my clients, because there's no way you read their summary and you will not be compelled to go to the rest of their, you know, their resume, right? So you have to make sure that you get the attention of, you know, your employers, your hiring managers, recruiters, or whatever, and make sure that you get their attention here. And trust me, the rest is just, you know, it's just the flow. All right, so let's go to point number 3. And so point number 3 is where you talk about your employment history. Now I want you to get this right. Sometimes your skills can come after your resume objective, depending on, you know, the information that is specific towards that job application. I don't know the best simple way to explain this. Let's say that you have skills, maybe your work experience are not really related to the kind of job you want to apply for, and you have skills that are really related to the kind of job you want to apply for, right? Your skills have to come first. But if you feel that you don't have all the skills like that, but you have work experience that are tailored towards that job, then let your work experience, you know, come first, right? So the third one is your employment history, your work experience, what you have done so far. And in writing your work experience, people made a lot of mistake in their work experience, and this sometimes makes your recruiter or your employers to reject your CV or your job application. And I've told people, a lot of people don't count this as something that is meaningful, but it's actually a meaningful thing to look into, right? So when you are writing your work experience, you want to write your previous work experience, where you have worked before, or let's say your employment history, make sure that you include your job title. Your job title is very important. What is your role? What role did you carry out at that company? Because some people just write, you know, employment history where they work, and they won't even put the work roles. No, it's very, very wrong. You have to put the job title, the company name and location, and the duration. The company name and location is very, very important. You are not that you just put the address of you put the whole address of the company location. No, you can just put, you know, your role, the company name. The address can be, maybe let's say, for example, Lagos, Nigeria, or Ontario, Canada, or Winnipeg, Canada, you know, something like that. You can just put it like that, you know, just to show them that, okay, this is where the company is actually located. This is your role. And then you go ahead and write your duties or your accomplishments or your responsibilities. And when you're writing your achievements, make sure that you quantify your achievements. You have to quantify. You don't just write that I supported the general manager, I did this. You have to quantify it. You boosted the sales that resulted to 20% increase in profit. You have to quantify it, use numbers, and use numbers where necessary. Not that you now have to quantify everything by force by fire. You use numbers where necessary, but sometimes it's good to quantify. Let them know the exact numbers. You were able to at least get 30 clients out of 45 clients to pay for a particular product. Try to use numbers. This boosts your resume, this boosts your performance, and it helps them to see how capable you are. So don't miss that aspect. And yes, before I forget, don't when it comes to the year duration, it's very important to include the month and the year. So people just put year. You put 2022 to 2023. So you mean for the whole year, 2022-23, we are not even specific about the months that you started. We are not specific about the months that you ended. So when you are putting the duration, make sure you put the month and the year. You can just put March 2020 to January 2022, something like that, right? So it really works. And when you are arranging the employment history, make sure you start from the latest to the oldest. You have to arrange it in a reverse chronological order. That means from where you are, reverse it, backward. Yeah, something like that. And then number 4 is where you talk about your education history. Yes, you have to talk about your education. You have to talk about your education history, starting from, it's also going to be in a kind of reverse chronological order, where you the latest education degree that you have. Let's say it's master's, PhD, then to your master's, to your BSc. Right? You don't really have to include your college days, your secondary school days, your primary school. No, except you're applying for academics. Maybe your CV or your resume is tailored for academics, but if it's for a job, you really don't need to add your primary school, your secondary school. You don't need all that, right? So your education comes next, and after your education is where you had your professional certifications, qualifications, trainings, membership. This is where you put them. And when you are writing your professional trainings, certifications, and memberships, make sure that you input details of the name of the issuing organization, because a lot of people just put it there. You are customer service certified. From which organization certified you as a customer service? You need to put the name of the issuing organization there, just for them to be sure. And sometimes the name of the organization that issues that certificates can even help you to land a job. Let's say maybe the company trusts an issue like a company like Udemy that give people certifications. When you put something like that there, it can actually boost your credibility and performance. Don't just put it there that you have a customer service certified or something like that. Put the name of the issuing organization. Don't just write it plain, and put the year. The year also matters. You have to put the year where you got the certificate. Is very, very important. Even if you don't include the months, just put the year, right? And for your membership, you also have to put the name. You can't say that you're a member of what year, which company. So you need to put all these things there. Please don't forget, these are little mistakes that disqualify job seekers and people that are seeking for jobs. So try to include these things there. And after this is when you include your hobbies and interests, and make sure that the hobbies and interests that you want to add is something that relates to the kind of job that you're applying for. Let's say that you are applying for a job that has to do with maybe delivery or courier services. You can just put driving as part of your hobbies. That is if you like driving or traveling from one place to another. It's something that is related to courier service, because as somebody that delivers, as somebody that goes from one place to another, you must love what you do. So if you put that as an hobby or interest, it's really going to boost your performance, right? And finally, I've talked about skills. Okay, your skills can come first before work experience, but make sure in your skills, so let me forget that part. Make sure that in your skills you put keywords that are related to that job that you're applying for. Because let's say, for example, you're applying for a customer service job. In your skills, you have to put something that has to do with customer service, customer engagement, customer service, customer centric, something that has to do with customer feedback. Those are the things that are related to customer service. So when you're putting your skills, you're writing your core skills and competencies, make sure that you highlight all these things and use keywords. Your resume has to be keyword rich. It has to be keyword rich. Trust me, you don't want to miss that, especially when you're applying for jobs in Canada, because it's going to be passed through ATS. Canadian job market, you make use of the ATS machine. That's the applicant tracking system. The software, they make use of it. So if your resume is passed through ATS, you have to make sure that it's keyword rich so that it can successfully pass through the ATS, and your CV or your resume can be part of the considerable applications, right? So make sure that your CV is keyword rich, and make sure that you use Canadian terms, like Canadian terms. For example, you have to use work experience instead of employment history. You don't use employment history, you use work experience. So there are some Canadian terminologies that you need to research yourself also. I can't mention all of them here, but for a standard Canadian resume, you have to use their terminology. You have to speak like the Canadians. You have to do things the way they do their things, right? So your resume have to be tailored in that aspect. And another one I would like to say is yeah, I skipped a part of volunteering. Yeah, volunteering should come after your work experience, or you can put it alongside your work experience. So you're volunteering, what you've done, you can also put it among the experiences that you have garnered. And lastly is the referees. The referees is either you put available on request, or you don't just put the reference, because what's the point? Since there's no reference, you may not want to have that. But if you feel you want to put the referees, then it should be available on request. Don't just go ahead and put the information of your referees there. Just protect them. If employers or the hiring managers need your referees, they're going to ask for it, and then you can send it to them separately in another document. But you really don't necessarily need to put it on your resume. No, it's not needed, not in Canada. All right, and I hope that this is more explainable, and if you can follow all the tips that I've shared, you are going to make an impressive resume. You are going to make an impressive Canadian resume. So don't forget to follow all the steps. Don't forget, because I really want positive testimonies from my family out there. And make sure that you also share this video with somebody out there. Someone that knows someone that is traveling to Canada soon, or someone that knows someone that is seeking for a job in Canada, and this video can just change everything for them. So make sure that you share this video with your friends out there, and don't forget to like this video. I mean, you're supposed to be feeling me now, okay? Apart from feeling, but make sure you just like this video. Your like gives me encouragement, encourages me to do more. So make sure you like this video, and make sure you share with your friends, share with your colleagues, share with your family, friends, with people that might need this information. And I hope God values from this video, and I can't wait to hear your testimonies. All right, I remain Coach Gabby, and I want the best for you always. See you next time. Bye.